With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else are you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
All you want is to make a lot of money.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Elman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
No birthdays today. Those were the past 2 days, but hey, we are here. Thanks for the belated happy birthdays, guys. We see people in here celebrating that they are holding Linda. Been telling you that since 15 Satoshis. It is now up to 58 sats. Zen is still higher than when we did the interview. We had an opportunity to stake
zero.
That. Todd owns no Linda, but I might just have to name my firstborn Linda. I'm picking out a color of a Hummer right now. No, in all honesty, guys, it has been performing pretty well. Also, we've been talking about ETC ever since the Coinbase announcement that I believe that is a no-brainer. Todd's charts back that up. That continues to go higher. If you're not buying ETC or mining ETC somewhere around these levels, I don't know what you are doing. You know, I thought the Linda chart was looking a little heavy between 50 to 55 Satoshis, and that thing just keeps on trucking. Obviously, you can stake and do master nodes on Linda. So everybody's complaining, you know, it's a little red, but it depends on what coins you're holding. If you're buying and holding some of these coins we have been discussing in this chat box, you guys are looking pretty solid right now during a bear market. So hopefully we can continue to bounce ideas off each other and find these winners as this next bull run hopefully starts to occur.
I was a little hot on Twitter, but I was tearing up TradingView. I had a troll over there. Boy, he was going in.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people over here saying they bought some Linda, bought some Zen. Somebody else said they just did a super node for Zen, so congratulations. Rocket366 says, BTC, buy the dump. There you go. Now, we are going to have Todd look at the charts. He has a bull view, which he thinks is more likely, but he is going to be giving a bearish count. If we don't find a rally soon, we do anticipate some lower lows. But that doesn't mean that you can't continue to dollar cost average in, keep stacking those bags, and investing in those winning products. That doesn't matter if it's a bear market because they are still holding green. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of fundamental news, some technical analysis. But most of all, guys, smash that like, share, and subscribe button so we can continue to grow this great Learn Crypto community.
For the next bull market.
Boom! All right, let's get this started. What are we looking like today? Still around the 290 billion market cap at 286.7. Bitcoin dominance above 40% at 40.2%. Bitcoin still holding above that 6,700 mark. You know, pretty even for the day. A lot of these coins are pretty even for the day. Nothing outstanding in these top products here. Now, once we get down to Monero, we are seeing some green. Binance Coin, 6.11%. Guys, just last week I told you that exchange tokens are leading the way, and I definitely would be adding them to your portfolio. Binance continues to go higher. Huobi token continues to go higher. Buybox, etc. They just have good token economics. You know, at some point, it's going to be what cryptocurrency companies are going to be generating revenue, because that entail then gets new investors in their products. And exchanges, as long as people are trading, they're generating revenue. As long as the token economics behind this exchange token are beneficial to the investors, people are going to keep buying them. And of course, Ethereum Classic up to $17.65, up another 5.4%. I mean, I told you what I think that's going to do, guys. That is a $100 coin. If we firm up, we enter a mini bull run here, this thing gets listed at Coinbase in a month, $100. Guaranteed. Write it down right now, take a snapshot, and you can troll me on Twitter later.
Run that disclaimer.
Biggest winners for the day, we got Centrality up 52%. I don't know anything about that. It's trading with 437,000 volume.
Funfair.
Congratulations. Funfair is up 23.76%. There may have been some kind of confidential group talking about that to pump that bad boy up. Personally, from my fundamental perspective, I just don't, the users aren't there. You can check how many users are on it currently. It's some pathetic number. Now, can the users eventually go over there? Possibly. Funfair's value is relying on casinos to start holding the Funfair token, so they have it available to give out to winners on their platforms, and for users and people who like to gamble to start gambling on there. I know personally I like to do some sports gambling, but I usually use Bovada, and it'll be really hard for me to switch to a blockchain gambling website at this point. I think these might be a little ahead of their time. I don't really see users going over there. I think it is going to be speculators buying this type of coin. Just my opinion. I know there are some people in here that like Funfair. Congratulations. I would recommend maybe taking some profits. That's just my point of view. And then we got Basic Attention Token up 15.91%. This thing has continued to rally. I told you I liked it. I told you I thought it has a chance to go on Coinbase and why in my Coinbase video. We had some people say, well, David Hay said he didn't like it that much. And yes, everything David Hay did present in his presentation is accurate about the complexity of being able to use the Basic Attention Token, but he never actually talked about the actual purpose and the fact that people are going over to Brave browser, and with the BAT token being integrated in there, the price is directly related to the utilization of that product. Things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good.
Shout out, Taj.
And then, of course, we got to pop this up. Linda up to 57 Satoshis, up another 8.64%. Look, I don't know. I think there needs to be some kind of retracement. This thing continues higher. Apparently, they have another announcement coming on June 24th. Just a rumor. I've been pretty right on these rumors in the past. And then the actual wallet comes out on June 30th. When will that sell-off happen? Will it happen? I am not sure.
It's going to moon without you.
It's been a winner. Yeah, I've sold a majority of my position in Linda around between 50 to 53 Satoshis. Now, I do have about 1/4 of my position left. It could keep riding, guys, but this chart looks top-heavy to me, but we'll see what happens. That thing just keeps on chugging.
Everybody wants some Linda.
Everybody loves Linda.
That's right. Shout out to Torres for trading that KCS.
Let's go. Show them some technical analysis. Let's see what kind of counts you got.
Bull count is still a 1-2-1-2 here, but we talked about this even back before the last sell-off. We really need to get this thing going here. I mean, starting off slow is okay. At some point, we need to make a move, and really need to almost make a move tonight. The other count that I think it could be is it's a bigger leading diagonal triangle, which would mean a rally above 68.20 up here to 68.80 or so. Could be the wave one, and then we have an ABC pullback to like 6,500 or so. That would still leave the bull count. And then I think when I come back a little bit here in 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to show maybe a bearish count on the new software. Vladimir did give me access to the software. We are finally getting Friday, Saturday, Sunday data because that's why bar chart was messing up. So that's fixed. And we just got a few issues maybe with the 5-minute OP. But I'm going to show that here in a minute. So let's look at a few other coins. I mean, not much really to talk about. We're going to go through these quick. Bitcoin Cash, sideways. These are all the ones we've been seeing. Dash setting sideways at 260. Some of these coins, I guess you could be trading a little bit because they're not doing much. There's Classic digging in like we thought it would. I think that continues. Ethereum 534 still doing well. Let's this thing load. Let's hope we're not getting slow here. You know what? That's an issue with Ethereum's chart. They're having something wrong, I think, at TradingView. Let's go out beyond that one right now. Here's Litecoin at 96. Once again, nothing. Neo 3761. Nothing. I mean, some of these troops are definitely not following Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's trying to go higher, but a lot of these coins are not helping out. So that's a little bothersome here. XRP, same type of thing. So a lot of these things look the same. OMG, not much. Let's go to ADA. Same type of thing. So when I come back, I'm going to show maybe a little bit of a bearish count. Decred back down to 90, just sitting here sideways again. EOS 1038, where it's been, I think, the last 3 days.
A lot of indecision on EOS. I'll kind of show you a tweet that I sent out today.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk going on. Go ahead and do that right now if you'd like.
So this guy is definitely not a nobody. You know, he's been around for a while. He says, I have EOS on Mainnet, hold my private keys, yet I have no way to transfer the tokens or sell them. Imagine how many like me and what will happen when that is resolved. Essentially, he is saying that a lot of big bag holders that have been having some issues with the hiccups with EOS, etc., still don't even have access to their actual new EOS tokens to send them to an exchange to trade them. And he's saying that a lot of people want to sell them. And I kind of just replied, if this has legitimacy behind it, like if I could go out and find other investors who are feeling the same thing, and EOS can't find some positive media presence because everything's been negative lately, look out below. Now, I've talked about EOS. I was long-term on it when I bought it at 345. Obviously, it's ridden up to prices that up as high as $20. I think Dan Larimer is a very good developer, but I think they're just running into some issues. And if these people want to panic sell or just want to sell to take profits, etc., because they've probably been in it for a while, I think you have the potential for a major sell-off in EOS if that happens. Nothing's guaranteed, guys, but I have taken a profits on a majority of my EOS. I think about 75% of my EOS has now been sold. I'm holding it still about a quarter. And the reason I still hold the quarter is because they do have a ton of airdrops coming up. And I think if you get enough airdrops and if they have any sort of value that you kind of have some risk mitigation there, because you will have the value in those other tokens, even if EOS does struggle a little bit here and there. But it's interesting. EOS has been all over the place. It's hard to really get a grasp on it. And really right now, if you are investing and holding EOS, you're really banking on Dan Larimer and their team that they have figured out some of these scalability issues that Ethereum has not been able to figure out. And we're just going to have to continue to stay up to date on the news for EOS to try to make the right decision on the longevity of that project. Anybody saying anything here about it? Not too much. Johnny says everyone is negative on them. It will death moon. There you go. I mean, you might get that automatic rally if we have a sell-off or something. So I'm sure Todd can talk a little bit about that as well. So representing St. Louis proudly, obviously, for those of you watching for a while, you know we broadcast live out of St. Louis, Missouri.
About 10 blocks away from the Fed.
There you go. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis adds crypto price tracking to its research database.
They don't play.
They're not playing. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis will now be tracking the prices of 4 cryptocurrencies on their research database. The database, called Federal Reserve Economic Data, or FRED, will now include the prices of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin from as early as 2014 to the present. The prices will be updated daily with data obtained from US-based cryptocurrency exchange and wallet Coinbase. So they kind of have a little partnership there. Coinbase is willing to give them their data, etc. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis has often been in the news for their research and statements about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. In January, a paper published by the bank gave an overall favorable assessment of crypto and blockchain use in the future. In mid-May, the president of the St. Louis Fed said in an interview that he didn't rule out Bitcoin as a potential future threat to the US dollar. That is the president of the St. Louis Fed saying he will not rule out Bitcoin as overthrowing the dollar as the primary peer-to-peer transactional currency used on a daily basis. That's pretty interesting. And I'm kind of proud to be in St. Louis. Hopefully we get some more favorable things around here, continue to get ATMs, maybe some more businesses accepting crypto, etc. And also it's exciting because we talk about cryptos on the daily here in St. Louis. So if some big things happen here that we can pass directly on to you guys, maybe by going out in the real world and having some transactions for you guys to witness. That
Maybe you should send him a Emo's pizza or something.
There we go.
Possibly.
I'll do one more little news thing real quick, and then we'll throw it over to Todd so he can talk about the bearish count on Bitcoin and some of these other cryptocurrencies for you guys. really, you guys just need to be prepared for whatever happens. You know, the biggest thing in trading is having a backup plan and having a strategy before the events actually occur. That way you're not doing FOMO and you're not, panic selling. Obviously, I like Linda, but I still have sold it based on what I was reading on the charts. It's continuing higher, but I'm not FOMOing in at these higher prices. I'm going to stick to my gut. If it doesn't play out, I was prepared for that. I was happy with the 3x, etc. That's how you need to go about your trading. Get rid of the emotions and take the profit when given. So here we go. Stellar, the creator of Lumens, XLM. We have not talked about them for a while. You guys know this is my preferred my micro-transactional cryptocurrency in comparison to XRP, for example. I prefer XLM. The founder or the co-founder of XRP actually left Ripple to go to XLM to improve and fix the problems he deemed that were wrong with the XRP system. So this cryptocurrency is said to be engaged in talks to acquire blockchain startup ChainCoin for $500 million. Now, why is this big? Essentially, Stellar is buying this smaller coin because, for one, Chain did raise $43 million from a variety of financial institutions, including Capital One, Citigroup, NASDAQ, and Visa. So that's pretty big. XLM is trying to weasel their way in the door to hopefully take that funding from these big name groups. I know you've recognized these names, and probably try to work some kind of partnership agreement where the Stellar blockchain is going to be utilized by these companies. So that is a positive that they're doing that. Also, they're doing it because they said they were impressed with the Chain developers and they want those developers to be integrated into the Stellar platform. Now, the downside is they are not paying the founders of Chain with $5 million in cash. They are paying them with $500 million worth of XLM tokens. Why is that a negative? You have the potential, there's no write-up in the contract, they can sell those $500 million in tokens at any given time. If they don't believe in cryptocurrency or Stellar or Lumens, XLM, they can dump them. And if they dump $500 million worth of tokens at once, I can guarantee that you probably will see a minor flash crash in the Stellar Lumens price that might get followed up by fear from other investors. So, while it does look like it will be a positive thing for the long term for XLM, there is the possibility that if those individuals, the founders of Chain, dump those coins, we will see some heavy pressure on XLM's chart. Keep an eye out for that, and if you see that, that's probably what is going on. So don't panic sell unless you're not long-term on XLM. What do we got here?
You can slap me back. Let's go through the software real quick.
Just Dave says, happy belated birthday, Nick. How old are you in crypto years? Probably like 85.
What that makes me, but...
Crypto 24/7 for the past several years. There's a lot of stress, but you kind of get used to it, and you got to realize that it's going to be there the next day. So you can't stress on a bad trade. You just got to make sure the next one's a winner.
Okay, the software, Vladimir gave it back to me today. So this is price and volume from 89 exchanges. You can see the OP Force and Tech are on here. The OP, we're having a little bit of issues. You can see that's way too much straight line. So they're looking into that. Otherwise, things are starting to come together, it looks like. Go to a 5-minute. It was loading some of these things. There's 5-minute price. And there's 5-minute volume. Again, loading, but having a few issues. So I just got to point out issues to them. They'll go back and fix them. You can see that my issue was before bar charts lumped together Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which I didn't know they was going to do that until we got, obviously 95% down with the software. So we have fixed that. There's Ethereum Classic 5-minute price and volume. That came up quick. You can see that 5-minute volume is not following the price here on this last 4-hour rally. So just things like that I'm hoping to be able to look at. Go back to a 1 day. That's going to be a 5-day. Let's go back to 6 month. So again, price comes up, volume's coming up from all the exchanges. OP Force and Tech is just having a little bit of an issue when you play around. But it will come back. I mean, so it is collecting the data and it is doing what I'm needing. I gotta make sure OP, Force, and Tech are loading correctly for me. Here's the WWCI, which is the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. You can see it loaded quickly. OP, Force, and Tech looks fine, except the OP is kind of out of its range here in the last 10 days. They just got to change the setting. So just things I got to let them know. Let me go back. I don't think it saved my settings. I want to talk about this WWCI. I'm going to come back to that, but I think, you know, I'm pretty happy that it's definitely working, and you can see it. It does bring up, it is bringing up Saturday and Sunday's data, so I'm happy about that. So I'm going to try to go over a different count here in a minute. Let's go over a few more coins. Made slowly trying to rally here back to 38 cents. There's not much else. Zen, 1848. A little short-term weakness here. ZIL, some short-term weakness. ZRX, 85 cents, nothing. So not too exciting there. And then what else we want to go through here real quick? I made a couple notes. BNB is up to 1705. Still staying pretty strong. I'm going to go over a few more here people were asking about. Let's go over...
Somebody wants you to look at TIO if possible, and it is on KuCoin.
There's BAT taking off again. That was on the percent up list. That's a 30-minute. Let's go out to the 2-hour. So that one acting much better there. That one finally coming alive. ONT BTC. Not doing much.
Where's that support at there that you have marked?
It's back there at 8,700. So then let's do, I think I had it up here real quick. Let's do VEN BTC. Still in the triangle that I had marked kind of. Once again, kind of slow, but not doing too bad. Somebody mentioned Dragon, not doing much. That's a 2-hour. Still sitting down here in the cellar. Can't see much about that yet. And here is KCS USDT. Trying to come out of the hole from a week ago.
That's another exchange token there, guys. The way that one works is you get rewarded the more trading fees they get over on KuCoin, the higher payout you get on a daily basis for holding KCS. Now, we all know KuCoin hasn't had very much volume, but if you believe in KuCoin, you like what they're doing, and you think that more volume will eventually come to that exchange, then that is what you are investing in. The token value will go up. Also, your payouts on a daily basis will increase as well.
And there is fun. You can see the big bar here, last 4 hours. Biggest volume in a while. Can't say much about that chart, though. Been a pretty big downtrend after everybody chasing that in the last bull run. TIO BTC. Looks like doing its thing. That's a 4-banger from the lows, so... Do not know TIO. That's all I got right at the moment.
See over here, Estash says, wait to buy more crypto, guys, when BTC dumps again soon. This time we'll see 5,700. There you go. That's your opinion. Did you share the bearish count on BTC over there?
No, I'm going to see. I had that saved on my software. I'm going to look for it here real quick.
Miguel says, still nice holding KCS and seeing all the coins filling wallets. Yeah, if you guys watched my best ways to generate passive income in the cryptocurrency space, KCS was kind of on that list in the dividend earning category. It was like KCS, Neo, and I went over BNB as well. And then we kind of talked about master nodes and staking and all kinds of different stuff. So if you want to know some ways and some websites in which you can start earning passive income in cryptocurrency, make sure to check that video out. And I know a lot of you guys just come in here for the live show, so make sure to go to our homepage, look through our recordings, because we do categorize them all for you, so you can really help yourself out there. Also, take a look in the description below to see everything that we offer outside of YouTube. We do have a cryptocurrency trading course, a crypto private client group, a 100% free crypto blog where we post articles that we think are relevant and important that you guys can keep up with on a daily basis, etc. So make sure to check all that stuff out. So I'm going to steal this back. We got a couple more things I wanted to go over. He was talking about Ven. So Ven did tweet this out today. The VeChain Thor blockchain is days away from being unleashed. Please review the following timeline and be prepared to witness Blockchain X. So the new mainnet for VeChain is coming out soon, guys. If you want to take a look at more of what's going on, here it is. Now, looking at Todd's chart, it does look like it is in a larger wedge or triangle or whatever you want to call it. So right now, it's getting near the end of that. So it's got to make a decision. Is it going to break up with the mainnet launch coming up, or is it going to break down? That is your decision. But this is definitely interesting. You know, going through here, going through the roadmap, you guys can generate your own opinion. I kind of like VeChain for the fact that the government's already been talking about, you know, the first thing they want to incorporate blockchain is you know, shipping methods. And what does VeChain do? They have an RFID technology, and that's pretty much what it is used for, to expedite, make the process better and more transparent for merchant trading, whether that's international or, you know, within the country. That way the consumers know exactly what they're getting, where it came from, etc. But also the shipper has a better way to track the products on board their ships and the inventory, etc. So it does have an interesting real world use case. I just don't know how it's going to act with this mainnet launch here in the short term. You know, usually it's a buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation, but we'll see. You know, it just seems like all these mainnets seem to have some hiccups, and then the investor confidence kind of goes out the door. So Bitcoin did just get a shout out from the Supreme Court today. Now, I'm not going to go through what the whole court case was about, because it had to do with something that is not crypto relevant. But essentially here, that's a notable argument coming from the more conservatively minded Supreme Court, setting the stage for what is the first reference to Bitcoin in a U.S. Supreme Court ruling. Quote, moreover, what we view as money has changed over time. Corey shells once were such a medium, but no longer are. Our currency originally included gold coins and bullion, but after 1934, gold could not be used as a medium of exchange, ... Perhaps one day employees will be paid in Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. While the opinion in this case has nothing to do with cryptocurrencies directly, the passing reference nonetheless signals that at least some of those that make up the top U.S. court are sympathetic to the idea that a cryptocurrency is a kind of money, opposed to a form of property, as the Internal Revenue Services wants to rule, or a commodity, which the CFTC continues to say. So we'll see. Overall, there's nothing you can really take from this, but the fact that this Supreme Court, during a ruling for something that had nothing to do with cryptocurrencies, brought up the fact that gold used to be used as currency and is no longer there, times have changed, and perhaps Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency could be the currency of the future. So I think if you add that together with the St. Louis Federal Reserve tracking it and saying that Bitcoin could take over the US dollar in the future, those are some pretty powerful people that are starting to mention Bitcoin. And if worse comes to worse, whether it happens or not, that is almost free advertising for this cryptocurrency space, as more and more big name investors and retail investors continue to see Bitcoin talked about in the headlines. And really the last thing I wanted to mention today, besides your guys' questions, of course, is on June 25th, it is the Tron Independence Day. You know, Justin Sun's always doing his thing. So they have decided on June 25th that they will be burning $50 million worth of Tron tokens. 1 billion TRX will be burnt forever, reducing the total circulating supply. The amount of TRX at the beginning of the mainnet launch will be reduced to 99 billion Tron, and the remaining 33 billion will be held by the foundation and locked up until January 1st, 2020. Why is that important? That means you got about 2 years before Tron can do anything with their 33 billion, which means they won't be able to dilute the supply even further or dump it on all of us retail investors. But keep in mind, guys, Tron does have 99 billion coins in circulation. Make sure you keep an eye on that market cap. And when, Tron always seems to pump, keep an eye on the market cap. If you think it is overvalued, because that thing creeps up quickly with 99 billion coins, have some common sense, take some profits. You guys know I like it as a trading coin. I have no comment on its underlying technology as of now. It's had a bunch of conflict like EOS has. I just try to do it for the gains, try to capitalize and add some more Tron to my bag and add some Bitcoin to my bag. But it is interesting. They are burning 1 billion coins. Usually burns are positive for the long run. Uh-oh, phone call.
It's a Wyckoff phone call.
And then lastly, they are doing their Tron token migration, but really every single exchange will be hosting that migration. So really, if you hold it on any of these major exchanges, just hold it on Bittrex or Binance, you'll have to do nothing. So don't worry about that, guys. Essentially, that is just a token upgrade, just like we saw with EOS, where they're swapping out their ERC20 to their own proprietary blockchain token. Michael R. says, anyone aware of a Zcash update? I am not aware of that, sir.
I'll take back the screen for just a second. This is a software again, which made me think of this count, which I don't really think it's a count. But I know back here, let's go back to when Bitcoin was trading, I think around 8,000. People want to know where my bearish count was. And I said, well, even if we break down here, we'll probably get a rally back to 9,000. And that would be an E of a triangle, and then we'd go to new lows. So you possibly could say that the E wave ended right there, so now you've got A, B, C, D, E down for an A. You've got A, B, C, D, and a horrible looking E to finish this triangle. You label that a B, and now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down to complete this massive correction for still the wave 4 that I've been talking about. But that would probably entail, like I've got it marked, something like a 5,000 Bitcoin. And I'm not saying that. I'm just, a lot of people be like, well, what's your alternate account, whatever, I guess, and how would you trade that, or what will you do? 5,000, will you then be scared out? So I think that's worst case. But this being an E wave of the triangle, that's just, it's hard to call that the E wave of the triangle. So that's why I'm not really a big fan of this count. And we really need a rally. Here we are in the shorter term. So going back to the 15-minute chart, I mean, we really need to bust out of this and, show some bullish trading above these downtrend lines and really get above this past 77, 7,800. So, but we're extremely quiet here. And again, it could be to run to 68.40, then have a pullback to 6,500, and then we ignite to the upside. So I'm really leaning that's my count now, is a run to 68.80 or so, have an ABC pullback over a few days, and then we ignite to the upside. But if we give away 6,400, 6,300, then I guess I'd be scared for 2 more waves to the downside. And again, that might not be 5,000. It might overlap and not get that low, but that would probably be worst case scenario. So I guess something just to keep in mind.
Ryan says he is watching Lux. He's talking about a couple things on the positive side for Lux, and he is saying that CNN and Fox News will be interviewing, I guess, the founder of Lux soon. So might want to do a little more research on Lux. Might be able to ride a little pump there as well. Crypto Man said, Nick, what is a good pool to mine ETC? I use Nanopool. The reason I like Nanopool is it's usually not the highest hash rate pool, so I like to make sure I am participating in helping decentralization on any currency that I mine. So I don't want to mine on the biggest pool for that currency. Also, Nanopool is pretty easy to swap to some other coins because you can mine Zcash on there, Electroneum, Monero, and some others. So I just use Nanopool. Pretty easy to set up. What up, G-Money? You're a little late today, but good to have you in here. Hennebree is in here. I have a question about Coinbase Pro. WTF is up with the black screen and blue font. How can I change that sheet? So I haven't played around too much with Coinbase Pro, but I'll make sure to do that, so maybe I can let you know. I'm sure there's some kind of setting if you go to your account tab. And I know, guys, people are asking me, will the APIs get messed up? They said your GDAX APIs will work fine until December 31st of this year. So you got 6 months to upgrade your API to the .Coinbase Pro API. So if you are a PCG client and Todd has your Coinbase and GDAX API to help trade and manage your portfolio, you are good to go. But at some point over the next 6 months, get in contact with Todd so we can update your APIs in our system and continue to do some trading for you.
Who was somebody said, Anonymous said, Bitcoin's in an ascending triangle in the 1 hour. And that's what I was mentioning. That's probably my more preferred count. So I'm just throwing that up here real quick. That would mean that we rally up. We're doing an overlapping ascending triangle. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We go up to the 6880, 6900. That's 5 waves up, overlapping. And then you come back down for an ABC. Some people will see that maybe as a bear flag and we collapse. But it also could be 5 waves up, ABC pull back to 6,500 again probably. That would be a bigger one too, and then we ignite to the upside. So the thing is, you know, Elliott Wave, I've said this from day one when I joined the channel, is I used Elliott Wave really as a confirming maybe 10% of what I do. To really, for me to say, I'm using Wyckoff, I got to have the consolidated volume. Like I showed you on Ethereum Classic, last couple hours the volume hasn't been there on the 5 minutes. So I use that to try to sway my opinion on, you know, what count really is playing out instead of just trying to guess it. Because just guessing it's not going to get you anywhere over time. So going back to we need the consolidated volume to put the odds in our favor. So I will keep working on that.
Dolphin 1 through 4 says ETC dropping first exchange. I know that also Saturn Wallet or something like that is going to be launching the first decentralized exchange using ETC as well. So that's pretty exciting. ETC just always seems to be chugging along. They got 3 separate development teams. They're going to be on Coinbase Index. They're always integrated into new products, even though their market cap is all the way down at 18. So to me, if they're putting in the top 4 or 5 market caps and then ETC skipping everything in between, that should tell you a little bit of about the project, and also that a lot of people think it's undervalued. So I've been saying it for a long time, and now it's finally starting to play out with the Coinbase listing, etc. So if you are a miner, I would definitely look at mining on their network, and maybe look for some kind of pullback here to get some positions if you don't own any at all. Let's see if Todd's chart over here can help you guys out a little bit on that decision.
I was just playing around on ETC. That's all I got right now.
Cool.
Bitcoin 6,700 where it's been.
Paul Hensey says,
forever.
Todd, when you're drawing trend lines, when do you use the wicks?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's, I probably don't use some of the wicks if I'm really trying to, you know, I'm not trying to trade the outliers maybe on some of those. I mean, I had it on the Bitcoin 1 hour. I was using the sharp wicks when I drew them. I think trend lines are tough to draw. I mean, you just kind of, you got to eye them. I don't think there's no definite on them. Just kind of get a feel for it.
G Money says, Nick, you need to write a book on mining 101. I've been meaning to do some videos. It's just mining videos and explanation is very time consuming because a lot of things that I take for granted that I've learned over the years of mining, I'll just skip over, and I got to make sure I take you guys through each and every step. And right now with the traditional finance job, YouTube, you know, plus my own crypto stuff and the interviews, reviews, etc., I just haven't had time to dedicate that much time to some videos. But definitely on the radar. Maybe once this bull run starts and LearnCrypto.io is doing its thing with private client group members and courses and software, etc., then I can go full-time crypto, and then I'll have more time for you guys to start helping you out. Also, you can go to Bitsby Trippin on YouTube. He has a website, bitsbytrippin.io, and he has a resource tab there that has links to a bunch of mining resources to help you along the way if you want to check that out. Clifford says, Nick, but you're young and we have the time. Well, there you go. All right. Lloyd says, keep doing the reviews and interviews, Nick. That's your special sauce. That's right. We've got some big winners there. It allows you to get some insight. And talking about that, I am going to be having an interview tonight with Digibyte discussing their new integration into the Lynda wallet. If you guys did not know, Lynda has partnered up with Digibyte. Why is that weird? Well, they are using a universal wallet for staking and masternodes. Well, people will be like, well, Verge is in there. They're not staking. Well, Verge doesn't have access to either an iOS or an Android wallet, so they are utilizing that partnership to have access to that. Digibyte already has their own iOS wallet and Android wallet. To me, that seems like they might add some proof of stake to Digibyte, which I think would be massive, not only for the current investors, but it will get the eyes of those looking to capitalize on passive investment and allow some new development opportunities for Digibyte in the future. So I'm going to kind of grill them on that, and hopefully that can provide some early insight in maybe their future for you guys that watch that. Make sure to check out the recorded videos. There is gems in those things. You got to, when you hear it, these developers and founders always slip up. We always get them to slip up, so make sure to watch it. What?
Let's go back to my screen real quick. What was it, 7:15? I want to show people, if anybody was watching my, the guy getting on my trading view, I'll kind of explain what he was saying, because he had like an automatic rally labeled on one of his charts here, and then maybe called this an automatic rally. And I think maybe he had another one. And I had just kindly told him that there's no such thing as numerous automatic rallies. An automatic rally is kind of like what it's called. It's after a selling climax where big selling comes in. And this isn't even a perfect example because we don't live in a perfect world. But after a selling climax, you'll have no selling is left, so it has a automatic rally. That's called an automatic rally. So any rally after that would just be a test of the highs, or it could be a sign of strength, etc. But it's definitely not, it's not an automatic rally. So when I said that, he got irate with me. And then he came back and told me that normally you'd have a preliminary support really close to the selling climax, and that is normal. I had labeled this and uploaded to TradingView where I called this the same thing, because a preliminary support is some type of volume stopping action, which we did have back here, especially if you go to the Stratus BTC, which, you know, there's a lot of moving parts here. But I labeled that a preliminary support because it came in the same point as this one here. And he had said that I was a fool for having something out that far, that you couldn't have it labeled out there, and I didn't know anything about Wyckoff, etc. So I did post on my Twitter a chart showing that Wyckoff in 1931 on the final exam had a preliminary support that was out 10 weeks. So this one's out about 6 weeks. So it totally shot him down. That's all I was trying to prove is, and I'm not saying I'm the expert on Wyckoff. I do own the Institute. I've traded it for years. I've got the resources here to go back and check things and double check and try to answer people's questions. But, you know, I'm not going to let a guy, I guess, trying to get Wyckoff famous just talking reckless. So too many people are doing that. And I'm cool with a lot of the supposed Wyckoff experts out here. And they do know their stuff. They probably took the course 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But just be careful what you're studying, because a lot of people add their own little markings, and then you're reading that and you're thinking you're learning something. So I'd try to stay true.
It's funny that you came in here now, Kanan. So if you guys don't know, Kanan works exclusively on the Vercoin project. And right above him, Crypto Cam says, anyone looking at Vercoin, they dropped their Lightning Network and Litbox on June 30th. Kanan, can you confirm or deny that information that is in that chat box, and don't ghost us because we know you're out there. That's pretty funny. Let's take this time. Hopefully Kanan will reply. We're going to take a quick second break, I believe, and then we'll be right back.
LearnCrypto.io is the pathway to your understanding of cryptocurrencies. At our website, you can learn about the grandfather of technical analysis, Richard D. Wyckoff, purchase our Cryptocurrencies and Wyckoff trading course, and read our daily updated blog. You can also find the link to our YouTube channel, where you will get technical analysis and fundamental research about cryptocurrencies on the daily. If you are too busy with family, retirement, work, or all of the above, then just click on our Crypto PCG link and allow us to manage your cryptocurrency portfolio for you. You give us trading APIs so we can enter orders and manage your portfolio, but cannot withdraw or transfer any of your coins or funds. We manage clients' portfolios for a respectable 3% annual fee, which is billed in 1/4 quarterly installments. Don't hesitate. Contact us today, because with these 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crypto markets, it helps to have a professional as a part of your team.
There you go, guys. Make sure to get over to LearnCrypto.io. Join the over 950 students that have participated in the cryptocurrency trading course. We will be adding new lessons when the software does drop. Obviously, when it drops, I know. Here we go again.
They're about ready to go, though.
But the
lessons
software
are pretty well
will
done.
be it's going to be changed. We've shown it on the stock market that it produces 100% gains in the stock market. What do you think that could do with crypto trades? It could be huge. Now we got Matthew Bradley over here saying, true, there are just way too many pretenders in this sphere. Be careful. That's why we try to be as transparent as possible. We don't want to be called frauds, etc., etc. Todd owns the institute. We own LearnCrypto.io. We're doing the show. We show you our trades. I tweet my trades. I want to be completely open and honest with you guys. And that's why we have so many coin giveaways. If we get coins from projects, we want to give them back to you guys. We don't want to be labeled that kind of show. And then over here, Kanan replied to you, CryptoCam. He said, no Lightning Network and Litbox on June 30th. Still in development at the moment. We did just release our AMD miner. Check out the Vertcoin talk tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. James Lovejoy, the lead developer, will be on with me to discuss the AMD miner. You can ask him about the status of Litbox and Lit Wallet if you would like live. So Cam Bryan, get over there, or CryptoCam, get over there and question them on when that stuff is going to come to the market. I know we're all dying to know. All right.
What was I? Something else I was going to say.
Stacking Stoner says, indeed, ... Weed it out. No pun intended.
We do not have a Discord channel. We're trying to bring more people back to Learn Crypto, where we can really go over charts with the software, etc. So that's still kind of the plan. Mike Fahere has been helping me. Matt did a lot of that. Matt's the one that built a lot of the things for me. So that slowed up a little bit. But once the software gets ready, then we're hopefully going to do that. Because all you're going to get from me is Wyckoff with a little bit of Elliott Wave, a little bit of Fibonacci.
Uh-oh.
So
Gary O'Connell rolled out of bed. Any hot chicks looking for a date? What time is it over there, Gary? It's got to be like 3 in the morning.
He's sleepwalking, probably.
Wonderful Blocks wants you to look at Funfair, please.
He's had too many cocktails, maybe. Funfair we did show. It had the big day. It's had a big few hours here. And there it is. And we've got a big bar there with big volume. Biggest volume in a while, maybe ever. So
I told you what caused that, guys. Make sure to rewind and rewatch why that happened. I don't like to give too much information, as people do pay a lot of money for that information. But it is what it is.
FTC. Let's look at these.
FTC and Salt. Salt was a heartbreaker for me. I held that thing for a while. On one of the recent pumps, I had to let it go.
FTC looks like Funfair. Same type of deal, coming alive. And Salt, yeah, that's one. Used to be talked about quite a bit. Let's go Salt BTC of Binance. And
essentially, Salt is a lending platform which gives people a lot of ooey in the stomach ever since BitConnect has happened and some of these other quote-unquote lending platforms have failed. The problem is Salt isn't a lending platform where you get returns. Essentially, it's a lending platform where you can use your cryptocurrencies as collateral to get a loan, therefore not causing a taxable event. If you needed to sell your BTC, for example, to pay a house payment, you can put your BTC up as collateral, pay your house payment, then pay back off that loan and get your Bitcoin back. That way you still have exposure to the market and you don't lose out on the upside potential. But like I said, I think the sector just gets a bad name since BitConnect happened. And also maybe it's a little too complex or underutilized by the current retail investors. So I think that's kind of why it failed.
Salt's for corn on the cob and watermelon.
There you go. And Salt is for Twitter nowadays with the bear market going on. Everybody's losing their mind.
Oh, they're salty.
Work together. Make some money. Stop being salty. Stop blaming others. You're the one who clicks the buy and sell button, not anybody else. There you go.
So funny. I probably wasted an hour talking to that dude and finding the charts to set him down. Then I sold 2 courses. I had to thank him for that. I'm usually not out talking much, but dang.
James B says, Todd, can you explain more on ETC and the software? When you say 5-minute volume is not following the price, I think he's kind of saying, you know, prices continued higher, but the volume is falling off.
Right.
What does that mean in your eyes?
I mean, it shows it was rallying on low volume. I mean, really, you got to be able to compare that to, that's just really during today's rally. So you got to be able to compare that going out a little bit longer. These settings are supposed to be on like 7 days. So you can see there I've got errors when I go out to the 1 month. That chart's supposed to be set up to do a 5-minute around 7, 8, 9 days, like my stock software. So those are just things I got to tell them. So, you want to compare price and volume to previous rally highs and decline lows. Look for divergences, inharmonious action, etc. So that way you can say, well, there was a lot of, buy volume coming in and it wasn't taking price up. That means somebody's selling into the strength. So those are things we're going to try to go over once we get the software really giving it to us.
So in this situation where the ETC price, this last little bit of rally is continuing on lower volume, can you explain what that means or a potential high probability of what happens there? If you're having a price rally and it's on decreasing volume.
I mean, that's really just a 1 day, so I wouldn't say much about that. If I could say that was a 2-week chart, if that's what it was, and then I'd be very leery. I wouldn't want to own ETC here because it's rallying kind of without the troops, without any volume behind it. So it could be more of a short covering rally, etc. So, and again, I'd want to compare it to a previous high or something would be better. But that right there is a 1 day, 5-minute chart. So I can't draw much from that. If you were day trading it today, you could, but, and also it would matter where the technometer is at. The technometer did give you a buy in ETC, really like a day and a half ago. So so on a short-term basis, it's showing you that there's selling coming in here and price is still holding. So on just the daily chart, I'd probably say that the coin continues higher. But again, you got to have more data points.
And once we get all the kinks out, I'm going to force Todd to slow down and really walk you through how the software works.
Oh, shit, I'll be all over that once we get this
Obviously, then
working.
you guys can maybe utilize it yourself. And also, if you want to even get a better understanding, we're going to be adding lessons about the software in the course. If you are already a current Learn Crypto student, you will automatically get access to those course videos and transcripts for free. If you are not, then you can buy it and you'll get access to the entire course, etc. Once you graduate, we do send you a graduation certificate. Now, Gary over here said something pretty funny. He said he went to the doctor with a crypto disorder, and he recommended volume. And Gary said, great, when's the ICO? That is hilarious. Kanan says, Todd, how is the big money looking for coming into crypto? I feel like Wall Street has slept on crypto since the bears showed up. I figured they are accumulating now.
Didn't somebody tweet something today around noon? I don't think I retweeted
that was
it.
Charles Hoskinson, and
exactly.
I'll show you real quick.
There you
because
go.
Because I've been saying
That's
this.
why.
That's a pork blaster because that is what the institutional money is going to be doing to the market, but I didn't even mean to click on that in all honesty.
And Gary, you're right. You cleaned up that joke because that wasn't the joke you told me.
So right here, you got Charles Hoskinson here. And he said, what's often missed by the cryptocurrency is going to die broken record media is that after the next wave of regulation, Wall Street is showing up to the party with all their locked up capital. That's tens of trillions of dollars entering the space eventually. Future is bright. We all know Charles Hoskinson is not one to make price predictions, and this is the first time he's really talked about market price. And, I just said I've been saying this for a while. Like, yeah, we've been talking about institutional money coming. The framework is coming now, guys. You have the Coinbase Index. You have ETFs. Hopefully you have the ETFs. You have OTC markets right now. Everything is falling into place. More and more companies are able to get this, the like New York exchange certificate, etc. The license, bit license. So things are moving in the right direction. I mean, I easily think cryptocurrency market can easily be eventually a $3, $4, $5 trillion market, and that's, according to some other people, that's on the low side. I'm not saying that's going to happen overnight. I think at the beginning of this year, I predicted that the market cap for the entire cryptocurrency space by the end of 2018 will be $1.5 trillion. Obviously, that is almost double the all-time highs of around $800 billion. And I think Todd said something like $1.3 trillion by the end of the year.
And other people are talking 20 and 40.
Yeah.
Some intelligent people. So, I don't know. I think we got a 10-year bull market.
And I'll tell you right now, Kanan, I work for an institutional financial advisor. They have not one single penny in cryptocurrency yet. Are they asking questions? Yes. Are hedge funds asking questions? Yes. Are they trying to finally have a custodian, which hopefully Coinbase can be here soon enough? Yes, that's what they're waiting for. Once you see the news that custodians are coming into play, start buying cryptocurrency and buying as much as you can, because that is all these big investors are waiting for is a custodian. They don't want to learn about public and private keys like we had to. They don't want to learn about different exchanges like we had to. They want to say, here's $100 million, and I want you to buy me a large cap index in cryptocurrencies, and I want you to be liable for the safety of those cryptocurrencies. And that's how it's going to play out.
We've sent out hundreds of emails. I don't know how many it is. I'd have to ask Carrie, to my stock clients. Nobody has returned an email or called in wanting to do cryptos. So we're not in a bubble.
Yeah. And like we said at that last business meeting we were at, we were there with 42 people working in the medical field, all there for traditional investment advice. One person in the room besides me and Todd, out of the 42, these guys all make $100,000 to $1 million a year. One owned cryptocurrencies, of which he had a $5,000 investment spread across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. That's it.
And the guys, there were some people talking. They were interested. They were really interested when we was at 16,000. And then now they've let it, like everybody else, they've got caught up with the emotion. They're not, they're not throwing money at it right now, but they will when we work back higher.
When it was running, it was at 16,000. They wanted to have a whole meeting. We did all that meeting for them, etc. Obviously, we continued lower. The flame kind of burnt out on them. But really, this is the time that they should be accumulating. So it's interesting. It's interesting how that works.
Did you see the James B comment? Because I did see that. It's about in the middle of the page.
Where is that?
Did you notice a Grayscale's tweet about their product? There's more money in Classic than Ethereum.
Yeah, so Classic right now is already Grayscale's second largest holding by dollars. I believe it is around 60. Now, don't quote me on this. I think it's like $62 million. Only second to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is like $1 billion or something crazy like that. Ethereum Classic is number 2 at 60-something million. And Ethereum, I think, is 3. And Litecoin is pretty low, like 6 million. So that's kind of surprising. As you guys know, Zencash will be on that list on Q3 2018. So we'll see how large or small the holding of Zencash is on that as well. So you have to look forward to that if you are a holder.
And guys, understand, I've gotten a lot of heat over the software. I guess some of it's, well, I deserved it because I said 6 months ago I might have something. But the stock software was built by Vladimir. And, I got big money invested in that. And really all they had to do was copy and paste. I'm going to say, obviously it's not that easy. But they, took the same software. And what I thought they was going to do is bring in Barchart's crypto API. I just didn't know Barchart didn't have the quality product like they did on the stock side. So, we're back to a different API. The problem is, when you bring in stock data, it's coming from New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. And on this, we're bringing in 89 different exchanges. So You know, there's definitely a few more curveballs, but they know how to work the software, and I can't imagine that we're not going to work through these little problems and get this stuff kicking out. So that's the plan. And I can't imagine it's not going to help us trade. It's going to give us higher risk-reward trades and give us something to key off of. So, but we shall see.
Cool. Well, that's about all we got. We're over time, and I forgot I do have to do that interview with Digibyte like
that's right.
3 minutes ago. So I want to make sure to get that information for you guys. Sorry you are late, Black Monkey. Make sure to watch the replay. Make sure to smash that like, share, and subscribe button, guys. And I forgot to announce this as well. I am going on vacation next week, so I will not be here. So you're relying on Todd to hopefully go live around 6:30, or maybe we'll see what he says.
I'm bringing in another co-host.
There we go. Bringing in somebody else. But the first week I am back, starting July 1st, we will be giving away 1 Zencash per video every single live show, 10 live shows per month. So make sure to tune in for that. Make sure to continue to spread the word while I'm on vacation. Follow me on Twitter. Obviously, I probably won't be doing too much crypto stuff. I really want to relax. We are going to Universal Studios. So if anybody is in the Tampa Bay, Orlando, or Clearwater Beach area all next week, let me know. Let's meet up. Let's have a drink. Let's have some fun. Let's talk cryptos. And of course, guys, I love being on here live with you guys. And I definitely will be missing you next week.
Gary's flying over. He's going to be the co-host. I'm going to Skype him in. We won't even need you. Gary's going to give 10 bangers.
There we go. You got any last words, Todd?
Have a safe trip.
Not to me, to everybody watching.
Oh, to everybody else. Grab those coins for the 10-year bull market coming. That's all I got to say.
There we go. So there you go, guys.
Follow
me
my
on
Twitter.
Yeah, and
don't troll me because I will bite back.
I'll be keeping in touch, and I will be posting that Digibyte interview tomorrow, probably around 6:30 p.m. Central Time, since we don't go live on Fridays. And until July, guys, this will be the last time I am live with you. Make sure to stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here on Learn Crypto.
Peace out.
Well, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.